Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here. Yes, so excited to take a little bit of time with you to share with you, the movement talking about creating the promised land. We've got to be about the business every day, giving all of our extra time and any time, just looking at that future, planning about that future. You know, I'm sitting here and I'm watching the things that happen in our country. And I'm thinking about the crime and violence. I'm thinking about the split we have in government and how people are playing one another against another. And I say to myself, why would I single that out? Is that any different than that which is going on in Russia? Is that any different than that that's going on in the world? It is the same identical thing, just different places, but it's all against the inheritance that you, the people, have. And hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that interruption. But the fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter what anyone is doing. It's always something somebody else doesn't like, and someone's against it, this and that. In other words, everybody's walking around dissatisfied because their satisfaction is predicated based on what other people do, and other people they don't know what that is. Everybody is self. That's what hell is like. And so when you can't get it, why pick on this country or this gender or that gender? You're all serving the anti-life. So you've heard it mentioned in the public now. I don't know about all over the world, but definitely in America, that there's a black Jesus, the original Jesus, that everything that we have been taught that references a white biblical stuff has to do with redoing, taking the truth, rewriting it, painting pictures. You know how that thing goes. Is it true? I don't know. But could it? Yes. Did it? I don't know. But I do know this. I'm black. And I do know that there's a God that has something to do with this. And that God allows me to understand that everything that's going on around me is pure D hell. Why do I know it's pure D hell? Because I know how to see. I see it heavenly. I see it with the problems resolved, and they don't. So that tells me I got something going that they don't have going. And I'm here for a purpose. I'm here to offer it to those people who want it. I want you to know that the true God made every human being on earth free. And every human being on earth, mostly, there might be some I don't know nothing about, are in bondage. They are subjected to a way of life that robs them of their inheritance. When you came on this earth, you didn't just come, you came here with love. You were inheriting stuff. Do you know when you came here, there was somebody to take care of you from your womb every day, every day, looking after you? What was that for? That was to teach you the process that must be kept going. Now you don't go around and take grown folks and treat them like they're infants. No. But the same thing is necessary. That's looking after one another, making sure that they suffer for nothing. I've been trying to tell you this, and it seems to be so hard. Now, they say one of the worst things that white people hate is the idea that there might be a black Jesus, because black Jesus, any Jesus, is a lover and knows that preparation has been made so nobody got to suffer for stuff. Nobody got to hustle for stuff. People live for stuff. Everybody got a career, a job, something that they have chosen to do because they love it. And what they have chosen to do is in the process of this which is created, which has been determined by we the people all over the globe. These people that some people call coming from shithole countries, people who have been suffering and going through persecution, beat down, drugs, and all that kind of stuff. All of that is hell, straight up hell. And they are slaves to it. Everybody's a slave. Everybody's a slave except those that wake up and do something. Some people try to say they wake up and get involved in it. They're the worst kind. But the idea is to wake up, to understand that slavery no more. Why? Why would you slave for a system that makes it so hard for you to go from day to day when you can live according to a system that your living is not in vain? It's an excitement. It's a joy. And you could do that if you were free. All you got to do is choose it if you're free. But if you're a slave, you can't because you're fearful, you're scared. And I want you to know, I know a lot of you thinking about the rapture. Some of you older ones, and maybe some of you young ones, thinking that if you just hold out, the rapture come and you'll be delivered from this stuff. Don't go that crazy route. People have been thinking that ever since it was said. And here we are today, in the middle of this hell. America, you are in the biggest hell we have been in since we who are here now have been alive. It might have been worse before. But since we've been alive, this is the worst hell we have been in. Well, we can't say that Donald Trump is the reason. No, we the people are the reason. Donald Trump is just the one who want to be boss. Donald Trump just want to be king of the evil, king of hurt, king of pain. He wants to be the boss of all the hell can be. I say let him. Because all I got to do is tell you, wake up. God wants you to wake up. Well, let me say a couple of things. In this waking up process, the church, you have been set aside heavenly to represent God. And what that representation means, it's not staying, it doesn't mean staying in that book. It means learning something in that book and putting it to the side and getting busy. Get busy working in the process of creating and establishing, getting rid of that hell and bringing in the heavenliness. What is that? Bringing in the joy of life, bringing in the peace of life, bringing in the prosperity of life, bringing in the freedom that people might live their dreams, making sure that they suffer nothing, their needs, their wants, and their desires are met. This is the mission of the church. That means you got to go out there and however you got to organize yourselves, however you got to get that message together in love, in the spirit of love. The devil must see that his control and his rule is over. Why? Because everybody needs this. Everybody wants this. Everybody desires this. And they must know that God offers it. And God doesn't play. Now, that's our job, church. So I just wanted to make sure that I got that to you there. And I'm leaving, because I'm not leaving it. It's up to you to determine the methods to do it. You know, all of you, you know, you got it. You just been a slave and been sleeping, think you don't know. But you're going to get a chance to show. Okay? I'm going to leave it there for now. Till next, Eddie Marcus saying goodbye for.